All right, everyone, I'm going to drive and do a video here because I'm limited for time. Was trying to do this video the past couple mornings, but it's Steve from Kraken Sports on YouTube. Trying to get out of the Walmart parking lot real quick. Was out. It is Thursday night. I think it's October 7th. So a couple days removed from the Patriots and Chiefs Monday night game. But I'm going to some Walmarts looking for some sports cards, of course, for my channel to open up. But anyways, on my drive up to the next stop, I am going to do a video on what my thoughts were on that Monday night football game. My Patriots against the Chiefs. Terrible game all around for the Patriots. Well, not terrible in all aspects, but man, what a rough game to watch. So many mistakes that were just huge mistakes that should have never happened. Whether it be bad coaching, bad play from Brian Hoyer, who should have never even been in the game to begin with. That should have been Stidham's start the whole time. I don't know what Bill Belichick was thinking. But man, he for as good as a coach as he is, I'll say it now. Again, I'm a Pats fan. I'm very critical of them. And I know this year isn't going to be, all gravy with Tom Brady over as a Buccaneer. Buccaneers are on tonight. Can't wait to watch that game. But anyways, what a boneheaded move by Bill Belichick, putting in Brian Hoyer, granted the more experienced quarterback, who really isn't that experienced because he hasn't played much recently. But overall game starts, of course, more experience. Stidham played a little bit last year in some relief duty for Brady and looked pretty not so great. So the fact that they brought in Cam Newton too kind of says that basically they didn't have much faith in Stidham at all. And starting Hoyer in that game absolutely proved that. Just terrible idea by Bill to put in Hoyer over Stidham. Hoyer started okay, made a couple of mistakes, threw a really bad interception that I actually missed because I was up fixing dinner right when it was like the second or third drive of the game. Overall in that game, the Patriots defense absolutely dominated that game. There was a point where going into the half, the Patriots should have been probably winning the game. Worst case, it should have been a tied game, like 13-13. Without going in all the details, I'm sure most of you probably watched the game, but I wanted to rant more as I'm driving here. That's a yellow. We can make it. Wanted to rant more than anything that, I don't know. It's just tough. Hoyer tried to call a timeout. He thought we had one timeout left, which we didn't. It was a boneheaded move to take a sack regardless, push it back out of further field goal range. I just didn't know what he was thinking. For a veteran quarterback, he looked like an absolute rookie out there. It was just terrible, and he should have been taken out at the half. He should have never started the second half. So he gets that horrible sack, and so we got an interception and a horrible sack to cost that drive. Patriots could have been tied or going up at halftime. And then after that second half, Bill, as I'm screaming this whole time, take him out. He shouldn't be in there. Stidham is obviously way better. But then freaking what happened was he brings Hoyer back out to start the second half, which should have never happened. Absolutely, I don't know what Bill's thinking. He saw Hoyer's first half performance. It was terrible. You cannot get much worse from a quarterback standpoint as far as securing the ball and managing the team than what he did. So, of course, comes out. They're making a nice little drive down the field, get a couple nice catches, a couple good throws, and then, strip sack. Easy, you could tell. You just knew he was going to get sacked on that play. The defenders were there. I mean, I don't know how he couldn't tell. He must not have that sense Tom Brady has. But, holy crap. Strip sack. I'm yelling that whole time. Just get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball. Man, I was really heated during the game without... obviously I had more expletives. And after that was just the icing on the cake. I said, there's no way. You have to bring in Stidham. If you don't bring in Stidham here, you might as well just not show up the rest of the season and just pack it in. But he brings in Stidham. Stidham looked okay driving down and then throws a floater up in the air, which was it felt like the ball was in the air for 35 seconds. Gets picked off in the end zone. So not much better from what Hoyer did. I mean, Stidham did look better than Hoyer overall. But then turnovers and stupid bonehead calls. And, of course, in the first half, I didn't even touch on. Mahomes is sacked, stripped. The refs made a horrible call saying he was down, progress, whatever they want to call it. Either way, it was a terrible call, as always. But then just Belichick is sitting there on the sideline just throwing a tantrum instead of throwing out the challenge flag. From all the replay angles, you can clearly see that ball is out. If he's not even close to being on the ground. His progress isn't even close to being stopped. And then instead, Belichick's throwing a tantrum on the sideline like a little kid instead of coaching the game and throwing out a timely challenge flag. They could have really reversed some of that game. I mean, the Pats get the ball anyways because they punt, but what a huge field position difference on that. So anyways, those are all mostly the bonehead calls. Now, second thing to touch on in this video, not mostly about the Patriots. And the Patriots, of course, go on to lose. I think it was 26 to something when I turned it off. Might have been 10 or 9. I don't quite remember. But I turned it off early. I said I can't watch this anymore. Just a horrible game. I know they're on a short week and they play the same day they've flown. But, like, that defense completely dominated the game. And the whole team dominated the Chiefs other than the stupid calls by Hoyer and Belichick. And then later on Stidham throwing a crappy interception. And then second thing is, of course, they played the game, should have never played it in the first place because of the COVID positive test for Cam Newton. Of course, it's going to spread to other players. And at that point, I think the league has been covering up a ton as far as tests and all that. But of course, now more players are starting to get it. Stephon Gilmore has it. A center that's a backup for the Pats has it. So their game this week against Denver is in jeopardy. But they should have never played that game. It should have been either, given bye weeks or whatever they did with the Tennessee game. It's just, to play that on a Monday was just incredibly stupid by the NFL. And as a whole, the NFL's really butchered the COVID policies and all that. But that's a whole nother video topic probably. And then we'll just touch on the Tennessee Titans briefly. Looks like today, this morning, Thursday the 7th, I believe, they had more positive tests. So it looks like they really messed something up, and their game this weekend probably isn't going to get played either. They might actually have to forfeit the game, which is kind of crazy because there hasn't been a forfeit, I think, since modern NFL history. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that. Again, I'm driving. I can't get all the facts together. I think it was only 1 or 2 players, again, that come up positive, but that's like 20-something players now. And they should have never had their game the week before. I forgot against who it was, but they knew about tests and they covered it up to make sure they had a game. I believe they did the same with the New Orleans Saints, although that player later tested negative, so that could have just been a false positive. But either way, I mean, they're butchering some of their policies here really bad. And the season is, as we're going on, we're going to have some positive tests, but going forward, I think they're really in trouble because the NFL is not managing the situations well at all. And it's going to be interesting going forward. I think the Pats game this week might end up being postponed or pushed back, which sucks for the Broncos because they also play on next Thursday, so a very short week. So the scheduling is going to get all messed up. You'll see as more teams and stuff come out with more positives. Man, the NFL butchered that whole scenario playing that game. And then the Patriots played their hearts out, being as they had no rest at all, and they flew that same day into Kansas City. And then a couple boneheaded plays by one guy, Hoyer, and then just some really bad coaching. Like I said, Belichick, one of the GOATs ever. You can't deny it, but man, for someone who's that good, he sure does make a lot of bonehead moves occasionally, a lot of questionable fourth down calls, and just some things that leave your head scratching. Like, how can a coach of this quality make decisions like this? But anyways, I put the blame hugely on Hoyer. He shouldn't play another game for New England. If he does, team's in trouble. Wow, I know he's been a backup for a long time there, and I respect that, but man, he was just so bad, and he should have never been in there in the first place. Let Stidham, let the kid show what he's got. That game could have been so different because the Patriots played their heart out, and a number of players had good games. And then, of course, one of Stidham's interceptions, not his fault. Edelman dropping the ball, too. Edelman, again, I'm going to be very critical of him. Too many drops in his career, just flat out awful. He is one of the most overrated receivers to ever play. He was only good, really, because of Brady could put it where he could catch it. Edelman, I know, is older, injuries, whatever. But, man, you just don't drop a ball like that. That's not... Like, you shouldn't be playing if that's the point. He should retire tomorrow. Again, I'm being very critical, but, man, Edelman has had a lot of big drops over the years, and a lot of Patriots fans won't admit it. They won't admit when their players fail, especially if it's someone like a Brady and Edelman or Gronk or a Belichick, someone that's really loved in the community and whatnot. But, man, Edelman has had so many drops in his career. super overrated receiver. He can be clutch, but his drops just overshadow all that, in my opinion. So anyways, this is my little rant video. Off to some more Walmarts and Targets to try to find sport cards here, and then hopefully home to watch the Bucs game. I'm not sure when this will be uploaded. I wanted to try to do this earlier in the week, but man, just a tough week again. Work is killing me as always. But I'm going to start doing more sports content here, whether it's just general vlogs, my opinions, throwing around some podcast ideas and whatnot. So channel will be a mixture of sports cards and general sports, blogging, journalism, that sort of thing. Looking to start a website and get all that stuff going too. But man, Patriots killing me this week. I was very heated and very passionate during that game. I wasn't even that heated last year in the playoffs because we kind of knew the team was on the downtrend. Probably the last time I got that heated was the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, honestly. But man, whew, what a ride. I mean, the game, they played so well, it just sucks they threw it away. But anyways, that's enough talking. I'm going to get driving here, do my errands, and peace out, everyone. Thank you all for watching. And go Pats, and hopefully they can bounce back, and hopefully Newton can be back soon, and they actually play some games, and the virus doesn't disrupt too much of their activities. Right now, I believe their practice and everything is shut down still. So we will have to see going forward. Hopefully we can continue the season and at least get some NFL action. I know there's NFL on tonight anyway, so I'm going to enjoy Brady and the Bucs, and I took the Bucs money line tonight. So peace out, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Go Pats, and again, what a tough game for some of the GOATs from New England.